Hello again, everyone. Today I want to talk about some of the good things that I've experienced and that our family's experienced since leaving behind Jehovah's Witnesses. So the first thing I need to talk about is time. Being a Jehovah's Witness, and especially being a good Jehovah's Witness, takes a tremendous amount of time. So to try and give you an idea, I'll lay out sort of what a regular week would look like for a congregation elder. That's what I was doing. So every day, of course, you might start out by reading some of the Bible, maybe the day's text together. I would no doubt have some emails to deal with. Then during work too, I'd probably get a phone call or two, have some more emails or text messages to reply to. After work, I'd no doubt have to work on some meeting parts or work on some stuff for the service committee. The service committee might meet. We often had a meeting there. Of course, there was the ministry to go into. We had to attend the meetings. Family worship every week. We'd spend time as a family. I also had to prepare for that. Shepherding visits, people who needed help. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things. Oh, personal study. Yeah. Between it all, we're talking hours and hours and hours and hours every single week. So taking that out of our schedule has been amazing. For example, we never would go out to the mountains for a day. We couldn't, because every weekend we either had service or a congregation meeting. So we couldn't do it. So now we have weekends where we can actually spend time as a family, be in nature. Every evening's open, so we're able to spend more time as a family there. I spend a little bit of time talking to ones who are struggling with exiting the organization or making these videos. That's a drop in the bucket compared to the time that I've gained from my exit. We just feel like we have so much more time, and having more time leads to having more patience. So especially with the kids, we're not rushed around, we're not stressed, we can listen. We don't have to, have a short fuse because we're always so high strung about all the things we need to do. That part's been wonderful. So that's time. One thing also we've noticed is how much closer we've drawn as a family. So part of that is the time we can spend together, but also we're able to be a lot more open in our communication. So Jehovah's Witnesses, everything you say, you kind of have to filter it through the organization and what would be okay to say. Even your spouse might worry if you were to say something out of line. So you can't just speak freely. You're always kind of tampering what you say to make sure it doesn't reflect bad on the governing body or the organization or whatever teachings you've been taught. So having that taken away, being able to just speak freely is huge. Our relationships are closer. There's not this constant feeling of guilt that we're either not doing enough or we're doing something wrong, or fear of getting in trouble. You find out you did something and, turns out you didn't even realize, but there's an obscure reference in a kingdom ministry about how evil that is. And so now you have to get in trouble. Or our kids, all the rules they didn't know. So we were constantly getting them in trouble for silly little things. So not having to do that anymore, being free from that, I can't emphasize enough actually that freedom from guilt, that is no way to live life. Jehovah's Witnesses feel guilty all the time. Either guilty they're not doing enough, or guilty for the bad things they've done, or just some inexplicable guilt. I don't know how to describe it, but it's this constant feeling. So that's gone. That's wonderful. Living life, and this is hard to describe if you haven't been a witness, but Jehovah's Witnesses, all their plans are for the new world, the new system, the paradise earth. So they delay their happiness for that time. The idea is, in the new world I'll have children. In the new world I'll travel. In the new world, I'll get to spend time observing animals, or whatever it is. They put that off. So they don't live life now. The idea is the time now should be spent recruiting people for the new world, making sure to save as many as you can, and making sure you're prepared to survive Armageddon and get into that new world. And so Jehovah's Witnesses describe living life in paradise as the real life. You want to get a hold of the real life, as though the lives that non-witnesses lead are not real, as though this system is nothing but a trial leading to an actual world. And I find that is harmful in so many ways. So when you're doing that, you're never fully present in the day. And so that's been a huge benefit now, is we're able to just enjoy the world around us, see it for its beauty, want to enjoy it, really just enjoy life. But it's weird because the impression I was always given, Jehovah's Witnesses are taught, that those who leave will just become pursuers of pleasure, that they will just want to have a good time all the time, and that's going to be their only goal. But I couldn't find that more wrong. In my experience, I actually found that, I want to enjoy myself, have fun, but way more than before, I have this desire to have a positive impact on the community, to do something that matters with the time that I have on this earth. Try and be kind to people, show them love, try to leave behind something that's a little better than when I found it. Even if it's just a little mark on my community, or if it's something I can leave for my children, I want to have some impact while I'm here. It's not just all about pleasure and fun, but it's about purpose, finding purpose in this life, which is the real life. This is real. And that's been a big thing when it comes to relationships. Because when it came to friendships before, they were really based around being witnesses. And a lot of them were even based on kind of an obligation, especially as an elder or an elder's wife. Jehovah's Witnesses feel they have to support people, spend time with weak ones, as they're called. So you don't really have time to form like real friendships. But now we've been able to do that, to find people who like us for who we are, and that we like for who they are. We actually share things in common, want to spend time with them. That's been wonderful. And the kids too, they've been doing the same thing. And even just that view of people, viewing people as equals. And this is sort of oxymoronic because Jehovah's Witnesses, on one hand, you're constantly taught you're dust, and you're a slave, and you're a sheep, and you're a follower, and you need to be obedient, and any good thing is undeserved. But then on the other side of the coin, you're taught you're God's special people, and you're chosen by Jehovah, and you have a relationship closer to God than anyone else on earth, and you're the only people with the truth. So you end up with this really low self-esteem, but at the same time feeling like you're better than everyone around you. So taking away those two factors and just looking at my neighbors and my workmates as just people just like me has been wonderful. It's been amazing, and it allows me to have actual real relationships. What else? Being able to celebrate yourself for who you are. Jehovah's Witnesses don't do that. Like I said before, everything's undeserved. Any gifts you have come from God, so you shouldn't celebrate them. You're not to think more of yourself than necessary. That's often drilled into Jehovah's Witnesses. So being able to say, hey, I did something good and I'm proud of it. And to celebrate others and to say to my children, I love you just for being who you are. That's amazing. You are an amazing person, and I love you for it. rather than for what you do and how you're helping the organization, that's been amazing. And I guess I should address a lot of these things I'm saying. Jehovah's Witnesses who are watching will say, oh, I already feel that way. I love my neighbor and I celebrate my children. Yeah, that's what I would have said. I absolutely would have said that. But experiencing the other side, experiencing the change, it's crazy how much different my thinking is. So I think, obviously I can't speak for everyone, but I think that's somewhat common to the Jehovah's Witness experience. What else? Oh, the idea of taking care of things and people because they're not temporary. So Jehovah's Witnesses are constantly reminded that Armageddon is coming any day. It's just around the corner. These are the last of the last of the last days. Any day now, things could take a turn for the worse. So you tend not to plan for the future, and when it comes to, property or things or projects or even yourself, you don't really look at them with a long-term view. And again, when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I would have said, oh, I take care of myself and my things. But my thinking's way different now. I really want to leave something behind for my children, to take good care of myself, to try to, when I am working on something, think of, well, is this going to last me? Because the world's not ending tomorrow, or definitely in less than 5 years, or whatever Jehovah's Witnesses feel at that time. But it's here, and let's make the most of it. And that really goes even beyond my personal possessions, but my community and the world. I think it's very dangerous. There's kind of two sides to the coin. You have people who maybe have no religious beliefs and whatever, but they feel that there's no need to try and address world issues because there's nothing they can do. So just live life and do nothing. And then on the other side of the coin, you have Jehovah's Witnesses and many groups like them who feel supernatural intervention is coming, so there's no need to do anything. And both of those are equally dangerous. Humans that are apathetic to humanity's problems don't contribute to the community and to the world. So that's been a different view, that I want to help however I can. I know there's not much I can do, but I want to do what I can. And I think that's good. I think if everyone feels that way, that has a positive impact. And yeah, I guess that's most of it. I wrote some notes, just the few things I thought of, but overall, just a wildly different perspective that has left me feeling so much happier, so much more fulfilled, the family way closer, having so much more time, doing so many more things together, and really just trying to make a positive impact and be positive and live life the way it is now. So I hope that didn't come off too weird. This is just my personal experience and what I've found. So take it all with a grain of salt. But wow, it has been wonderful living in the real world, living the real life. Thank you so much again. Bye for now.